Most people do not fail because they are weak. They fail because they keep trying to win without giving anything up. They want a new life with old habits, a new future with old excuses, and life does not work that way. If you are tired of being almost ready, almost disciplined, almost the person you know you could be, then stay close to these words and make this a place you return to when your fire gets low. Because some messages are not for your ears, they are for your soul. I know you are tired. I know what it feels like to watch time move while your life feels stuck. I know what it feels like to smile in front of people and still feel behind when you are alone. But hear me clearly. The life you want is not on the other side of wishing, it is on the other side of sacrifice. Sacrifice equals success. Say it again in your heart. Sacrifice equals success. Not comfort equals success. Not convenience equals success. Not mood equals success. Sacrifice equals success. Think about that. Every strong body, every peaceful mind, every solid bank account, every deep skill, every respected name was built by somebody who gave up what felt good now for what mattered more later. That is the deal. That is the price. That is the road. And the reason this truth hurts is because part of you already knows it. You know the problem is not that you do not have enough information. You know the problem is not that you need one more speech, one more trick, one more perfect morning routine. The problem is much closer. The problem is that you have been trying to hold on to comfort and reach greatness at the same time. You have been trying to keep the late nights, keep the lazy mornings, keep the distractions, keep the people who drain you, keep the habits that numb you and still become somebody different. It does not work like that. You cannot keep feeding the part of you that wants ease and expect the part of you that wants growth to win. One of them must starve. One of them must go hungry. One of them must lose. Let that settle in. The first sacrifice is not money. It is not sleep. It is not time. The first sacrifice is the lie. The lie that you can become more without letting go of less. The lie that change should feel easy. The lie that discipline will arrive like a feeling. No, discipline is a decision. Growth is a trade. Success is a bill that always comes due. And if you do not pay with effort, you will pay with regret. One way or another, everybody pays. Some pay now and live better later. Some live easy now and pay painfully later. That is why the strongest people are not always the most gifted. They are the ones willing to lose something. They lose sleep. They lose excuses. They lose fake friends. They lose bad habits. They lose the weak version of themselves. Brick by brick, choice by choice, day by day, they build a life other people only talk about. And from the outside, it looks like luck. But from the inside, it was sacrifice. Quiet sacrifice. Lonely sacrifice. Repeated sacrifice. When nobody clapped, when nobody noticed, when nobody cared, they kept laying bricks, one workout, one page, 1 hour, one hard choice. And that is how a wall rises. Not in one dramatic moment, not in one lucky break, not in one perfect week, but brick by brick. You do not need to build the whole wall tonight. You just need to lay your bricks straight. You just need to stop dropping it because you got bored. You just need to stop walking away because progress looked small. Small is how all big things begin. The house starts with one brick. The body starts with one rep. The business starts with one sale. The comeback starts with one honest decision. Sacrifice equals success because every brick costs something. It costs comfort, it costs time, it costs ego. It costs the old story you keep telling yourself. But if you keep paying that price, the wall will rise. It has to. That is how life works. Not magic, not luck, not noise, just laws. The law of planting, the law of building, the law of becoming. So let me ask you something before we go any further. How many more years are you willing to spend protecting the comfort that is quietly ruining your life? Look at a man doing push-ups. That is one of the simplest pictures of growth you will ever see. He goes down, then up, pain, then power, strain, then strength. You never get the strength without the struggle. Never. Nobody does 10 push-ups and complains that the floor is in the way. The floor is the reason the muscle grows. Resistance is not the enemy. Resistance is the tool. Think about that. So when life gets heavy, when the alarm rings early, when your body feels tired, when your friends invite you to waste another night, when the work feels boring, when the progress feels slow, maybe the floor is not blocking you. Maybe the floor is building you. Maybe the pressure is the point. We say we want results, but we hate resistance. We say we want respect, but we run from hard things. We say we want change, but we protect the habits that keep us the same. That is why so many people stay stuck. They keep asking for the reward while rejecting the training. But the training is the road. The push-up is the path. Going down is part of going up. This matters because some of you think sacrifice means your life has gone wrong. No, sometimes sacrifice is proof that your life is finally moving right. The athlete sacrifices comfort for conditioning. The student sacrifices free time for mastery. The builder sacrifices sleep for momentum. The parent sacrifices ease for love. The dream does not grow in spare time. It grows in claimed time, in protected time, in fought for time. That is why weak habits feel cheap at first and expensive later, while strong habits feel expensive at first and priceless later. 1 more hour in bed feels cheap. Skip the workout, cheap. Waste the money, cheap. Delay the call cheap, put off the plan cheap, but watch what happens. Days become weeks, weeks become months, months become years. That cheap choice sends you an invoice with interest. Lost confidence, lost strength, lost time, lost self-respect. And self-respect is a big one. Because nothing drains a person like watching himself break promises to himself. You start speaking and your own spirit stops believing you. You say tomorrow, and something inside you rolls its eyes. You say this time I mean it, and your heart remembers all the other times. That is why sacrifice is not only about getting results. It is about becoming believable to yourself again. You want to trust yourself? Keep one promise, then another, then another. Small promises, real promises, honest promises. Get up when you said you would. Finish what you started. Put the phone down when you know you should. Save the money you said you would save. Read the pages you said you would read. Walk when you do not feel like running. Show up even when your energy is low. No drama, no speech, no audience, just proof. You do not need to feel powerful to act powerful. You act your way into belief. That is the hidden gift of sacrifice. It does not just change your future, it repairs your identity. And once your identity shifts, everything shifts, because now you are no longer the person who talks big and folds fast. You are the person who does what must be done, even tired, even bored, even unseen. No excuses, no waiting, no rescue, just action. Let that settle in. The person capable of changing your life is already in the mirror, but that person only comes alive under pressure. That person only wakes up when comfort stops being the boss. Every push-up burns because it is costing something. Every rep says, I am giving this moment to become more later. That is why sacrifice equals success. Not because pain is noble by itself, but because chosen pain can shape a stronger life. There is pain in discipline. There is pain in regret. Choose your pain. There is pain in effort. There is pain in staying the same. Choose your pain. There is pain in becoming. There is pain in wasting your gifts. Choose your pain. If you do not choose the pain that builds, life will hand you the pain that breaks. So here is the question you need to hear right now. When pressure shows up tomorrow, will you call it unfair, or will you finally recognize it as the training your future has been begging for? Now let me give you a picture you can never unsee. A seed in the soil. Small, silent, hidden, nothing flashy, nothing loud, nothing to brag about. You place it in the dark and for a while it looks like nothing is happening. That is how real growth begins. Buried, unseen, uncelebrated. The seed does not become a tree because it was admired. It becomes a tree because it stayed in the ground long enough to break open. And that breaking open is sacrifice. The seed must lose its old form to reach its new life. Think about that. It cannot stay a seed and become a tree. It must crack. It must split. It must stop being what it was. And that is the part many people avoid. They want growth without breaking. They want expansion without discomfort. They want a bigger life without shedding the smaller self. But every real transformation asks for an ending before it gives you a beginning. To become wiser, something childish must die. To become focused, something distracted must go. To become disciplined, something soft must be left behind. To become peaceful, something noisy must be cut off. This is why some people stay trapped in the same year for 10 years. Same patterns, same wounds, same excuses, same promises. The calendar changes, but the character does not. They keep waiting for a different life while protecting the very identity that created the old one. And the soil keeps teaching the same lesson. Nothing grows until something breaks. Maybe your old image must break. Maybe your need for approval must break. Maybe your habit of quitting when nobody notices must break. Maybe your addiction to comfort must break. Maybe your story that says this is just who I am must break. Because it is not who you are. It is who you have practiced being. And what has been practiced can be replaced. What has been repeated can be rewritten. What has been fed can be starved. But not without sacrifice. Sacrifice equals success. There it is again. Simple, hard, true. Sacrifice equals success because the higher version of you needs room to grow, and room is made by removing what crowds your soul. A garden does not only need water, it also needs weeding. Not everything growing in your life should stay in your life. Some friendships are weeds, some habits are weeds, some fears are weeds, some routines are weeds, some thoughts are weeds. They steal light, they steal energy, they steal space. And if you leave them there just because pulling them hurts, they will choke the life you are trying to build. Let that settle in. Some of you are not tired because life is too heavy. You are tired because you keep carrying what should have been cut loose a long time ago. You keep answering calls you should ignore. You keep returning to rooms that make you smaller. You keep feeding cravings that leave you empty. You keep giving your best hours to things that do not love you back. Then you wonder why your dream has no strength. It has no strength because it has no sunlight. Your attention is the sunlight. Your time is the water. Your discipline is the fence. Your sacrifice is the pruning. Protect what matters. The world is full of people who want the fruit but hate the season of roots. But roots come first. The quiet work comes first. The lonely mornings come first. The hidden discipline comes first. Long before there is applause, there is practice. Long before there is harvest, there is planting. Long before there is proof, there is faith. And faith is not sitting still hoping. Faith is working while the results are still underground. Faith is doing the right thing before it pays you back. Faith is believing the roots are growing even when the surface looks empty. That is what mature people understand. They do not panic in the planting season. They do not dig up the seed every week to check if it is working. They keep watering. They keep guarding. They keep waiting with action. Because they know the process is not failing just because it is invisible. So if your work feels hidden right now, good. If your growth feels slow right now, good. If nobody sees your effort right now, good. Roots love darkness. Roots love patience. Roots love consistency. And one day what was hidden will split the ground. One day the fruit will show up. One day people will call you lucky after you survived years they never saw. That is why sacrifice equals success. Not because success is random, but because life always rewards what is deeply planted and faithfully protected. So ask yourself this and answer it honestly. What part of your old life are you still protecting that your future cannot grow around? Life also moves in seasons, and that truth can save you if you really hear it. Winter, spring, summer, autumn, cold, growth, harvest, release. Nothing blooms all year, nothing shines all year, nothing wins all year. Even the strongest trees do not carry fruit in every season. So why do we panic when our own life enters a hard season? Why do we think a slow season means a dead dream? Why do we think a lonely season means we are lost? Let that settle in. Some seasons are not for showing, they are for strengthening. Some seasons are not for harvest, they are for roots. Some seasons are not for applause, they are for endurance. And endurance is a form of sacrifice most people never talk about. It is not dramatic, it is not loud. It is waking up and doing it again. It is trusting the process when the process is not flattering. It is being faithful in a season that gives you no quick reward. Think about that. The gym in winter feels different. The work in silence feels different. The effort with no clear payoff feels different. But that is where many people lose their future. Not because they lacked talent, not because they lacked potential, but because they misread the season. They thought struggle meant stop. They thought delay meant denial. They thought quiet meant empty. So they quit in winter and never reached spring. Listen to me carefully. Just because it is hard does not mean it is wrong. Just because it is taking time does not mean it is not working. Just because nobody understands your path does not mean you should leave it. The farmer does not curse the field in winter. He prepares, he plans, he repairs his tools. He respects the season. But many people want a summer life with winter habits. They want the harvest without the waiting. They want the strength without the training. They want the result without the repetition. That is not how it works. Sacrifice equals success because every season demands a price. In one season, the price is patience. In another, it is effort. In another, it is humility. In another, it is letting go. If you do not learn to pay the price of the season you are in, you will keep fighting life instead of flowing with it. Some of you are in a cutting season right now, a pruning season. Things are leaving, people are leaving, illusions are leaving. It hurts, yes, but maybe it is not punishment. Maybe it is preparation. Trees are pruned so they can grow better, not so they can die faster. Sometimes life removes what your emotions want to keep because your destiny cannot carry the extra weight. Not every loss is a loss. Not every closed door is rejection. Not every delay is failure. Sometimes what breaks your heart is freeing your hands. Sometimes what leaves your life is making room for something stronger. And sometimes the sacrifice you hate today becomes the story you thank God for later. That is why mature people stop asking only, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what is this season growing in me? Is it patience? Is it grit? Is it focus? Is it surrender? Is it discipline? Because if you learn the lesson, the season was not wasted. The real loss is not pain. The real loss is pain that teaches you nothing. Do not let your hard season pass through you without building you. Use it, read it, honor it. Wake up and ask, what does this season require of me? Maybe less noise, maybe more prayer, maybe more study, maybe more work, maybe more rest, maybe stronger boundaries, maybe quieter confidence. Whatever it is, answer it. Do not compare your winter to somebody else's summer. Do not compare your roots to somebody else's fruit. Do not compare your chapter 3 to somebody else's chapter 20. Comparison kills courage. Comparison steals peace. Comparison blinds gratitude. Stay in your field. Stay in your lane. Stay in your season. Water your ground. Tend your soil. Trust your timing. Sacrifice equals success. And sometimes the sacrifice is staying steady long enough for the season to change. So tell me honestly, are you about to quit because the journey is wrong or because you are tired of paying the price this season demands? Now let us bring it home with one last picture. A magnifying glass under the sun. The sun is already powerful, but when that light is scattered, it only warms. When that same light is focused, it burns. That is your life. That is your mind. That is your time. Scattered, you stay warm. Focused, you change everything. This is where sacrifice becomes very personal because focus always demands loss. To say yes to one thing is to say no to 10 others. To build anything meaningful, you must stop leaking your life in every direction. Too many people are tired not because they are doing too much that matters, but because they are doing too much that does not. Too many tabs open in the mind, too many voices, too many distractions, too many empty pleasures, too many half-finished starts, too many days spent reacting instead of building. No wonder the dream feels weak. It is not getting your full beam. Think about that. Greatness is not always more effort. Sometimes it is fewer leaks, fewer distractions, Fewer false starts. Fewer excuses dressed as entertainment. If you gave your best hour to your future every day, what would happen in a year? If you cut the noise, cut the drift, cut the habits that steal your sharpness, what would happen to your mind? What would happen to your body? What would happen to your peace? The answer is simple. Your life would begin to move with force. Because where focus goes, power flows. But focus hurts at first. It hurts to leave the group chat unread. It hurts to say no to the invite. It hurts to sit with silence when you are used to escape. It hurts to choose the long road when the quick hit is right there. That pain is the cost of power. That pain is the gatekeeper. That pain is the proof that you are finally separating from the version of you that lived by impulse. And impulse is a thief. It steals years. It steals money. It steals health. It steals destiny. One quick pleasure. One lazy delay. One mindless hour. Then another. Then another. Days become weeks. Weeks become months. Months become years. This is why sacrifice must become a lifestyle, not a mood. A person who only sacrifices when inspired will always be at war with himself. But a person who understands the trade becomes calm. He stops acting shocked by the price. He expects it. He plans for it. He respects it. He knows peace is purchased by discipline. He knows confidence is purchased by keeping promises. He knows freedom is purchased by restraint. He knows greatness is purchased by focus. Sacrifice equals success. One more time. Sacrifice equals success. The phrase is simple because truth is simple. Hard, but simple. You become what you keep choosing. Not what you intend. Not what you post. Not what you say you value. What you keep choosing. Your habits are voting. Your hours are voting. Your money is voting. Your attention is voting. Every day your life is moving towards something. The only question is whether it is moving on purpose. And let me say this with love. You do not need another identity crisis. You need a decision. You do not need another perfect plan. You need a cut. Cut what weakens you. Cut what drains you. Cut what distracts you. Cut what makes you lie to yourself. Then take the freed energy and aim it like light through a lens. One target, one mission, one next step, brick by brick, rep by rep, day by day, season by season, seed by seed. That is how ordinary people become uncommon. Not through magic, not through hype, not through wishing, through sacrifice, through focus, through repetition. So before this moment passes, answer this in the deepest part of yourself. If your future is asking for your full focus, what have you been giving your time to that does not deserve another hour? You started this listening to a truth most people already feel but do not want to face. Most people do not fail because they are weak. They fail because they keep trying to win without giving anything up. And if you hear nothing else, hear this. That game is over. That version of you is done. Picture yourself a year from now. Your face looks different, lighter, clearer, stronger. Your walk has weight to it. Your eyes are steady. Your room is cleaner. Your body is firmer. Your mind is quieter. Your bank account is not perfect, but it is no longer ruled by chaos. Your word means something. When you say you will do it, you do it. People feel the difference before you even speak. More important than that, you feel the difference. You trust yourself again. You can sit alone without panic. You can work without begging for applause. You can say no without guilt. You can say yes without fear. You can look in the mirror and recognize a man who paid the price. Think about that. Not a perfect man, not a finished man, but a forged man, a tested man, a real man. And when that future version of you looks back at this moment, he will not thank you for taking it easy. He will not thank you for waiting for motivation. He will not thank you for choosing comfort one more night. He will thank you for the sacrifice. He will thank you for the early mornings. He will thank you for the lonely discipline. He will thank you for walking away from what was killing your focus. He will thank you for staying in winter long enough to see spring. He will thank you for laying bricks when nobody noticed. He will thank you for doing the push-up when your arms shook. He will thank you for protecting the seed in the dark. He will thank you for focusing your light. That is how your life changes. Quietly first, internally first, then visibly, then powerfully. And one day, the same people who never saw your hidden work will see your visible results and call it talent, call it luck, call it timing. Let them. You will know the truth. You gave up what was easy for what was worthy. You traded comfort for character. You traded impulse for discipline. You traded excuses for ownership. You traded short pleasure for lasting peace. Sacrifice equals success. Say it until it becomes part of your bones. Sacrifice equals success. When the bed feels warm, remember it. When the work feels heavy, remember it. When the crowd pulls one way and your future pulls the other, remember it. Sacrifice equals success. That is not punishment, that is power. That is not loss, that is investment. That is not suffering for nothing, that is becoming. So when this ends, do not clap and stay the same. Do not feel fired up and then fall asleep on your own life again. Stand up, drink the water, make the call, open the book, take the walk, do the rep. Delete the distraction, keep the promise. Start small. Start now. Start tired if you must, but start, because the cost of staying the same is too high, and deep down you already know it. The life you want is still possible, but it will not be handed to you softly. It will ask something from you. It will ask for comfort. It will ask for ego. It will ask for delay. It will ask for fear. Pay it gladly, proudly, fully, then keep moving. No excuses, no waiting, no quitting, just sacrifice, just focus, just becoming unstoppable.